Alright guys, so welcome back. So we are trying to start the drafting stage of our female two-piece palazzo trouser, the ruler. Now the next thing you will have to do is to iron the fabric. So make sure you iron. Now the reason for the ironing serves for two purposes. One is to remove the rumples from the fabric. Secondly is to know if the vintage fabric is elastic or it can shrink when you iron, because some fabrics do shrink when you iron, right? And make sure as well you cross-check the most stretchy part should be on the width. So this one does not really stretch, but I still had to place it in this form. Now the first you will do here now is to mark out your baseline. So the baseline you are marking out is essential for you to have a perfect base from here. So mark out your baseline all through this way, and then you also mark out the sidelines from here as well. Now on the long run of this video, I'll also show you guys the trick or the perfect way I use to make sure that I cross-check my measurements that they must correspond. So draw this line all through to the length of your person's trouser length, and then after which the next you will do here is to put 2 inches here. Now these 2 inches you are marking will serve you for your hemming or folding of the trouser. It must be 2 inches. It can be 1 or 3, must be 2. So mark the 2 inches here for the hemming of the trouser. After which you apply the length of trouser, which we have to be 44 length of trouser. But then bear in mind that in this case we are making a high waist trouser. We are making a high waist trouser, and that high waist trouser we are making, the band is inclusive on the length of trouser, right? So we are going to decide on the bandwidth we want to use. So I chose to use 2 inches bandwidth for my length of trouser, and then I will minus the 2 inches from the length of the trouser, which will now give me 42. I will add extra ½ an inch back for the joining of the band, so that when the band comes in, it augments it to 44-inch length, right? The ½ inch we added is to join the band to the letter measurement. So here I have to be 42.5. So here is what I have. Then I will mark in this form 42.5. I will mark in this form this way. So here comes all through this way, and then you draw the line all across. You have it in this form. Now the next we are going to do is to get your crotch. Now the crotch measurement we are getting must be from the calculation of your hip measurement over 4, right? That's the formula I use to get my crotch. Now usually we divide the hip by 4 and then we mark the normal answer. But on high waist trouser, you add extra 3 to 4 inches to the hips over 4. Now the hip we have is a hip of 48. Divided by 4, you have it to be 12. Now that 12 inches we have gotten, we are not going to mark the only 12 on the crotch. We are going to add extra 3 inches or 3.5 or 4 inches to it, depending on how high we want it to be. So for my own discovery, I want to use 3 inches extra for her hip over 4 plus 3. Now dividing the hip by 4 is 12. Plus 3, that's 15, right? Now this 15 inches is inclusive of the flap and the band as well. So remember that we remove 2 inches for the band. Now that 2 inches will still be removed when we are marking the 15 inch for the crotch. So here you push out 2 inches here, right? And then you mark 15. Now remember that you also gave inch for your band joining, so you still consider it as well. So you mark here 15 inches for my crotch measurement, right? So you mark 15 inches all through this way, and you mark 15 inches all through this way. So here starts me from my crotch point. I will draw the line all through like this. And after that, then I will now mark hip of 48, which is 12 for my client. Now, at this point, you can still decide, to increase the hip a little bit if you wish, just to give room for zip allowance and everything. So I will use 12.5 right here. I will mark 12.5 inch and then extra 2 inches, which is constant right here. And after that, you have to get your knee line. So the knee line I have, you measure from the crotch depth to the ankle line, just like this. Now, the ankle line we have from there to there gave me 29. Now, the formula states that divide this distance by 2 and come up by 3. So 29 divided by 2 will give us 14.5. Minus 3 will give us 11.5. So here, I will mark 11.5 for my knee point. And then extend the line as well, as shown just like this. After this, the next thing you will do now is to get the midpoint, which is called the gradient line. Now, for that line, measure from the total distance of the hip plus 2 to here, it's giving me almost 15. Then middle is 7.5. You mark this way. Mark the same thing on the knee line. Get the midline, which is called the gradient line. Very important. Gradient line. So you mark all through this way. So if you did not see where I marked initially, this is the point I placed my tape to mark for my gradient line, right? Fine. So after this, the next you will do now is to extend the line all across in that form. Extend this line all across this way. Extend it all through down to the ankle line. So you have it coming out to this very point. Now remember, I told us that there's a formula we'll give you in this illustration so that when you are marking, you cross-check your measurement at once. Now remember that the lap we had was 29. Now if you divide 29 by 4, by 2 rather, you have 14.5, right? So this is 29. So the lap over 4 plus 2 inches must be equal or a bit bigger than the lap over 2, right? Let me say it again. I said the hip over 4, rather, hip over 4 plus 2 inches must be a bit bigger or equal to the laps over 2. Meaning that if you divide the hip by 4 plus 2, the answer you will get must be the same thing with or a bit bigger than when you divide the laps over 2. So with the lap is 29, divided by 2 is 14.5. Sure, you understand? Now hip is hip gave us here 12.5, which I have added half inch to it already. Then plus 2 inches, that's 14.5. You see that the both of them are corresponding. So this is just the trick I use in my divisions, right? So after which, now the next you will do now is the same thing you marked on the lap, you mark on the knee as well. So for the lap, remember that it was 29, which is 14.5. So divide by 2 again, that's 7.25. 7.25 at both ends. 7.25 this way, 7.25 this way as well. So you might still decide to reduce the lap value on the knee just to give you a little bit of fitting, right? So you can decide to make the knee maybe 6.5, 6.5, that's 26, right? Or even 24. 6 inches this way, you can decide, it's your choice. 6 inches this way. So you can just make it a bit reduced so that it does not get too big at the ankle. So still maintain the same thing here as well. 6 inches here and also 6 inches here as well. So this is the marking. And then you connect the line from the ankle straight to your knee line. It goes in this form, and then connect this as well straight to this very point. And then make sure you connect from here to this point, and then connect from here as well to this very point. Now, for the waistline, I knew why I left the waistline to be part of the last part I will explain. Let me explain the waistline very well for you guys. Now, for the waistline, the best thing you will do to get a perfect fitting, take the hip point straight to the waistline this way. Mark the line of the hip to go straight to the waistline, and then start from here, mark her waist backwards. And the waist we had was 33. Divide by 4, you have it to be 8.25. So such cases, I can just mark at 8.3, right? So here you mark at 8.3 this way. Now, for you to achieve a perfect fitting, you don't need to add extra 1 inch on the front waistline in order to remove or to, avoid any rumple on the front panel crotch area, like an emoji, right? A smiley emoji. So don't add 1 inch on the front panel of the waist. The 1 inch that was meant to be added on the waist of the front, take it to the back panel and add extra 2.5 as against 1.5 we normally add on the back panel. After which, you take your hip cuff, and then connect from the waistline all through to the hip area this way. And bear in mind, it's optional to put pockets. If you decide to put pockets, there's still no problem. But this one will not have pockets. So here, you come up by 2 inches in this form, and then curve all through to this very point. So this is basically what we have. So I will cut it out and also show you how to draft the back as well. Alright guys, so now we want to start marking for the back. Now, because of the nature of the fabric and how the measurement is, the leftover at the side won't be enough to mark for the back panel. So here we manage the lights we had. Now I will replace this fabric in this form. Please watch closely. Now, you remember that I have a particular pattern I want to use to cut this, right? So I'm trying to explain it to you guys now. Now, also bear in mind that I did not slope the front panel of the trouser. So neither will you raise the back. All you need to do is just cut as you will see me illustrate in this video. So I have placed the back panel right here, and then the next thing I will do will be to place for the measurements. Now I want to position my camera very well so that you see everything I'm doing. Now, first thing, that the length here will be equal at the height area. Now take your ruler, extend this line on the crotch to come out to the back in this form. So this back crotch area could be extended by 2 inches, 2.5, or 3, depending on your choice. So for my customer's body size, I will use 3 inches for her this way, right? And then also be in mind that you are not going to add the whole 3 inches all through to the ankle area. You will not add it all through to the ankle area. So we are going to end this measurement on the knee, to achieve that perfect fit that we crave for. So this curve will come from something of this nature and go all through to the knee point. So it comes all through this way. You see how the curve came to the knee only, right? And then watch attentively on the side area. Now, this line, I will place my hip curve in this form where the curve will continue going out in this direction, right? So it will just extend by, let's say, 4 inches or thereabout. Or can use your stretch ruler and extend it from the side. It goes out all through this way. Now, the essence of this I am making here is not to allow the back waist area to gape or to give space, so it will lap on her hip or on her waist. So you now start from here and mark her waist measurement backwards. So the waist of my client is 33. So divide by 4 is 8.25. So from here, I will mark 8.25, something of this nature here. And then remember that the back area, the front panel rather, we did not add any 1 inch on the front. So you now add extra 2.5 extra, or can make it 3 in total. So you mark 3 here. So this means that this is where you start from to connect your curve. But before you do that, still verify the hip measurement that you have. So here is 15, right? So you also make sure that you have 15 inch from this edge, so you will know exact of how many inch extra that you need to add at the back region. So here, freehand sketch, you go all through this way and then raise here up and then connect it to the back waistline measurement. And that's all you need to do. And then you start cutting accordingly. You start cutting accordingly, just like this. So make sure you have your cutting in the same format as mine for you to achieve the same results. Cut all through this way. Also cut all through this way as well. So the hem area will be cut equally with the side, right? Here will be cut equally, just like this. And then go out all through. So you can cut out the whole fabric to the very end. So this is what we have left that we will use for our crop top. Then cut here as well. Also note that I chose to reduce the knee and ankle, optional. You can decide to leave yours with the same lap measurement, which will still be fine. But if you reduce it, it will look more corporate and more professional, right? It's still your customer's choice though. So this is how you cut out the front panel. So if you observe now, the waistline of the back is falling inside. So this will not give room for gaping. It will lap on her waist and the buttocks will take its shape on the fabric. So this is how you are going to cut your front and back. So the next we will cut here as well will be our band for the trouser. Remember that the band measurement we removed was 2 inches, right? So you make sure that you cut what will be enough for the band. Now the band will be cut in a way that you will just fold it and stitch and hem. The band as well has a very simple and unique way of fixing for perfect results. So make sure that you have enough fabric that will be enough for the whole waistline. And after which, you mark out another stretch or baseline in this way. And then place the band is 2 inches, so the double is 4. Then add extra half for joining. So in total, we are going to mark at 5. If you fold, it becomes 2.5, and then you stitch, the half inch goes off, 2 inches is left, right? So here you have 5 inches here, 5 inches here as well. So once you have marked the 5 inches, you connect all through this way. This might seem to be complex, but just follow the videos, you understand very well. Don't forget as well to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ask your questions. I will make more videos just like this. Cut out everything just like this, and the band is done. So the next you will see will be the stage of preparation, gumming and stitching of this trouser. So I will make the video on top and also post as well on the channel. Ask your questions if you have any. Bye bye for now.